Yeah. Be right here. Be right here.
Ah!
Yeah. Right. Be right here. Present. I am here right now. Be right here. Be present. I am a proponent. Stop fighting against life and being your own opponent.
Wait. Okay, so um we are there she is.
Hey.
Hey, beautiful. I want to play Be Right Here for the folks before we even get into it, but do you have a specific song that you want them to hear besides this?
Well, I guess it's the new stuff that's not out yet, but no.
No. Okay, well,
I
we
love and
can
approve of myself, maybe, but
yeah, I love it. Okay,
mhm.
give me 2 seconds.
Okay.
And we just gonna let it rock for a little bit.
Okay.
Um, Welcome everyone. I'm so juiced. We'll do a full introduction to this queen, Toni Blackman, in just a moment, but I want you to hear some of her work off top. So this is I Love and Approve of Myself by Toni Blackman.
Yeah.
Woke up early in the morning with the pain on my mind. Thought, see, I just couldn't leave them behind. Stomach didn't feel quite right. Tossed and turned all night. Tried to sleep tight, but I rose with the sunlight. Heart cried, couldn't find the tears, so scared. Seemed to be running from my own fears. Took a nosedive deep into my soul. Only treading water when swimming is the goal. Sit upon the rock when they can't find the roll. I was going east looking for the North Pole. Mass confusion, chaotic intrusions keep bruising my heart. Is there a book on how to heal it and get back to the start? You know the day, the first day, your first birthday. Innocent, pure before being poisoned by the world's way. Huh? Sometimes the only way is within. Talk to yourself. It's okay. Come on. I love and approve of myself.
Yeah.
I love and approve of myself. 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 I love and approve of myself.
I
I
just
love
wanted
and
them to have a little taste,
Yes, yes,
love
yes.
and
just a little taste of, your genius and your contributions and your really like the vibration that you bring.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes. Okay, so we have more questions than probably we'll get to. But I do want to do a short introduction. So, peace,
Okay.
y'all, and welcome to Women in Hip Hop Wednesdays. This is a segment of the Let's Make a Classic podcast where we celebrate the genius, labor, and legacy of women in this culture we call hip hop. And I'm your host, Coco Peila, multi hyphenate hip hop artist, and the music midwife. Today, I have the deep honor of speaking with someone who has shaped the global conversation around hip hop as education, diplomacy, healing, and ancestral practice, and so much more. She's the first official U.S. hip hop ambassador, a griot, educator, author, a powerful MC from Carnegie Hall to Dakar to Summer Stage. She's used the Cypher as both stage and sanctuary. Please welcome the visionary Toni Blackman.
Hey, hey. What's
Hey,
good? What's
hey.
good? Thank you for having me here.
Thank you so much for coming. I'm just thrilled out my mind, and I think the biggest question for me is, how to honor your body of work in the time
Mhm.
that we have, and we'll do the very best. But you jump
Mhm.
in, at any
Okay.
point if you want to
Yes, yes,
redirect
yes.
me.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah. So, um, I would love to start with like just asking you about your upbringing, your first memories of hip hop, but I would say even like the intention that you move with in your music. Do you
Yeah.
have like a memory of like first contact or awareness of that?
I think I started out dancing as a kid, popping, locking. I won't say I was breaking. I was always afraid of cartwheels and spinning on my head. But I danced, and I had dance groups, and there were talent shows, and it was the Bay Area, so there were talent shows everywhere, all over the Bay, from Oakland to Solano County, Contra Costa County. My mom, thank goodness, was our driver, our chauffeur.
Yes.
So shout out to my mom. But we were able to do those things and graced a lot of stages, won some battles,
Hmm,
and I think I started rapping in junior high school as a way to pass the time before school because there were budget cuts. So of
hmm,
course the school bus budget cuts impacted the black and brown folks the most. And so we had to take the long way to get to school. It would take us over an hour to get to school. Normally, the school bus, it was a 15-minute ride. So it was deep. When I
hmm,
think about the politics of it all
hmm,
and about those kids, 11-year-olds, being free to roam and do whatever they wanted to do. And then even by the time we got to school, we still had to wait outside in front of the school for another 30 to 40 minutes. I can't remember how long. But it was a long time for some kids to be left alone. And what we did, it actually kept us out of trouble, except when we tagged up a bus. But we stayed out of trouble. And we would have hairbrushes, Afro picks, combs,
yes.
and we would have talent shows on the benches right in front of the school before the cafeteria opened. And that's where I started rapping.
Yes. Tell us about like young Toni. Like, what was she like? Clearly very like, creative.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. No, young Toni was I'm trying to make any announcements to let people know we're on. Young Toni was she was quieter, much quieter than Big Tony. She was shy, um, but very thoughtful. Um, she was still vocal about her opinions. Uh, really into justice and
mm,
fairness, and vocal about that too, and got into some trouble because she would speak truth to power, and some adults were troubled. But looking back, she was right a lot. She was right a lot, which is why I always encourage people and parents to honor their children's voices, and because your child just might save your life, or change your life, or impact your life in ways that are unimaginable. God sent you that young being. So listen, don't and if they are assertive, I have a niece in Senegal who's very assertive, and she presses buttons. She walks like she owns the room, and it really was throwing her dad off
mm, mm.
because he's a Taurus and stubborn. And it was fascinating to watch the dynamics, and then I kept reminding him, "Don't put her fire out.
Yeah.
Don't put her fire out." And I have a good girlfriend whose daughter is just like that kid. And I was like, it's so easy for people to unconsciously and unintentionally douse the fire that the Most High blessed their children with,
Hmm,
you know? So I was warned a lot about how hard it is to be Black, about how hard it is to not have money, about how hard it is to this and how hard is that. And it's something that there's programming that took years to deprogram, right? That you got to be 3 times as good. Took years. And It's that those rules don't apply to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us are anointed and meant to move with ease in certain areas so that we can impact more lives. And there's nothing wrong with that. And you're not crazy. It's not even magic. It's just blessings, you know? It's
That's
just
good.
destiny. And sometimes that magic term gets on my nerve because it's not magic.
Hmm.
Faith, it's intentionality.
Hmm.
Like no miracles happened here, except that I woke up this morning with deliberate intention, decided what kind of day I was going to have. Birth was the miracle. After that, yo, come on now.
Wow.
Give thanks, glory to God, I'm here. But without my mind, um, certain things couldn't happen without the right energy. And we have to put forth the effort to create.
Hmm.
And for some of us, that effort is required daily. It's like being in recovery from life, though, you know, not of drugs, not alcohol, not sugar, even. But some of us, our lifetime path requires that we cultivate the mind in the same way someone in a 12-step program would be cultivating theirs.
Hmm.
It's different dynamics at play. And so I can't fully articulate what that is beyond the basic burden of being born in this skin as a woman. Um,
Hmm.
but I'm sure it's deeper than what I'm conscious of. Um, but I accept it now. I accept it.
Well. Mm-mm-mm.
Yes, yes.
Well, anyone who's ever had, you know, the honor of being in your presence knows like you arrive on the scene like really truly, you know, as a MC.
Mm-hmm.
We hold the container, we conduct the
Right, right,
energy, we
right, right,
bring the
right.
frequency up and down, and you do that on and off of the stage, even just in a phone conversation.
Yes.
I just noticed like the shifting of the molecules in the air. So I'm grateful that people just get to have a little piece like of what it's like to witness you and be around you
Yeah.
and witness your medicine.
Yes, yes.
Speaking of which, I want to talk about this quote that we started with for
Mhm.
today's Women in Hip Hop
Okay.
Wednesdays, one of yours, which is "A woman's place is in the cipher."
Yes, yes.
Um, what is a cipher to you in 2025, and what does it make possible spiritually, creatively, politically?
That's a good question. The cipher in 2025, it is what it is. I think its definition is consistent, um, in that it is a container for energy. The cipher represents 360 degrees. It's about completion of thought, giving and exchanging energy, information, and ideas. And the cipher is zero and the sum of all things at the same time. The cipher is the circle. We've been drumming in ciphers, dancing in circles, eating in ciphers, praying in circles for centuries.
Hmm.
And it's no surprise and no coincidence that hip hop music and culture gravitated towards this circle. The use of the word cipher in this way is to give thanks to the 5% nation.
Hmm.
That's where we started using it, and that's where it came from. Which that sect of Islam made a really huge impact on hip hop music and culture, and does not get enough acknowledgement. And I think some of that is the our inability to really acknowledge spirituality and spiritual forces when they are in action. That happens a lot in when it comes to creativity in the arts in the Western world, where folks want to act like this great work came just from the mind.
Hmm.
What? No, no, no. Sometimes we be channeling and we don't even realize we're channeling. And It's we're vessels.
Yep.
We're vessels. And when we are creating, when we're performing, when we are presenting, sometimes it's coming through us. It's not from us, but through us that is happening, and we don't acknowledge that enough. And of course, in hip hop, for years, people only saw hip hop as a commodification of this culture, not truly acknowledging that it is indeed culture, right?
Mm.
But it's a culture, and it's an art culture, it's a music culture, it's a culture of creativity. And for many people, this culture saved their lives
Yep.
in very literal ways. For many people, this culture became their spirituality, became their religious practice, because they had been betrayed and hurt by the religion they were born into. And so they were seeking something else. And I think creatives do that a lot, no matter what your art form or your genre,
Yeah.
right? You cling to that thing that feeds your soul and makes you feel safe, that thing that makes your day better. And
Mhm.
it doesn't matter what kind of creativity it is, but you cling to it. It's just like, remember, they had like the Deadheads that
Yep.
rock the rock and roll, and then I was explaining this to an elder about hip hop heads, and
Yep.
then that elder was a jazz head, right? And said it's not that different, only it's hip hop.
Yep.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yes. Thank you so much for that. And um girl, when I tried to put together this podcast script and be like, okay, how are we gonna cover all this? I know it's gonna be the perfect amount and the perfect thing will be
Yeah,
said that people need to hear, but I'm just so excited. You're leading a 4-part workshop series
yeah.
at Brooklyn's newest library. What happens in that circle? What do people release, reclaim, or remember?
Well, we did the initial series, and then I just applied to do a follow up. And so
Yes.
we'll see. But we did it at the Library for Arts and Culture, one of the most beautiful libraries I've ever been inside of.
Oh my God.
My God, it's so well done. The design, the decor, the architecture. But what we did was, I didn't know who was going to show up. And so sometimes only MCs show up, sometimes only poets, sometimes mostly singers and a couple MCs, sometimes no artists whatsoever. So in this space, we had creatives, but we didn't have MCs.
Hmm.
We had a painter, an arts curator, a graphic designer, a writer. Like, so it was really an academic who is a hip hop scholar,
What?
but never spit.
Hmm.
So, and then I had my musician, the guitarist from my band, Jerome Jordan, came and he played. And what I love about Jerome is that he is excellent at improvisation, and
Hmm.
he's a listener. And all musicians are not, some great musicians don't know how to play with the poet. They don't know how to rock with the MC. They don't know how to rock with the human voice unless it is singing
Hmm.
in a very conventional kind of way. And they're challenged, partly because they don't listen,
Hmm.
and then sometimes it's because they don't respect the spoken word, whether
Hmm.
rap or poetry, not in the way that they might respect Ella Fitzgerald. You know what I mean? So it's been really, really dynamic for me to coordinate this at this stage of my journey. Because I've done ciphers in every kind of place you could ever think imaginable. I've done ciphers, albeit uncomfortable, and where I didn't even understand the language and had to work with a translator.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm an adventurer, so I'm always game to see if something can work. I'll try it. Why not? But and now when I've done all of the things, I've been in ciphers where it was tense, I've been in ciphers where it was slightly hostile, I've been in ciphers where people cried.
Mm.
I've been in ciphers where folks are so moved they have to walk out because the emotions come up. I've been in these spaces where people get so open. It reminds me of going to church with my grandma when I was a little girl.
Yes.
It reminds me, and where folks are really getting so open they unable. It's like a movement that happens if you're an MC, and sometimes you can't control the gestures or the movements that's coming out of you. No one knows where this movement comes from. It's energy, and this energy has to be released some way, and the words out of your mouth are not enough. So to
Mm.
make room for that energy, the body starts to move. And if you rock with an MC long enough, even if it's just in the living room or in a casual setting, if you begin to know them and their movements.
Mm.
And just by virtue of their movements, you know whether or not they're about to get open. Right? It's a whole science to this shit that people don't take time
Mm.
to study or make themselves aware of. So many people take the music and the culture for granted. It's like the people who are having this argument about the Clips album. There's no argument.
Right.
Whether or not you like drug rap, they're dope.
Yeah.
You don't have to like drug rap to acknowledge their greatness, right?
Mhm.
And this back and forth that I saw on a couple of threads, I'm like, it's just a waste of time and energy. Like,
Mm.
we really could be talking about something really meaningful to benefit the evolution or the preservation of hip hop music and culture,
Mm-mm-mm.
as opposed to the mental masturbation um, of, I don't know. Like, drug rap is not my first choice of listening, but if something's dope, I'm listening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These days, I'm more likely to listen to meditation or high vibration music or artists who are telling stories that deal with their growth. But I tell you what, I listened to that whole Clips album this morning and enjoyed getting dressed to it
Yeah.
because it's great work. It's great art. And too often we downplay our own
Yes.
creativity, our own culture. Yeah,
Yes.
it's
Mm.
massive. If you can celebrate The Godfather in those films, let's celebrate. Let's
Yes.
celebrate, And I think everybody's evolving, which I think is also important. And to understand like the demarcations and the lines in the art, and the distinctions between genuine truth telling and quote hardcore storytelling and front and making up stuff just because that's what everybody else is doing. We don't talk enough about that for fear of being called haters.
Mm.
And I think that's part of what got us into some of the trouble we've been in the past 5 years with so many young rappers being killed. That
Mm.
we did not take the time to learn how to build rapport, to create rapport, to create mutual respect and understanding, to have communication exist across generations, across class, across culture, regional culture.
Yeah.
Remember, regional culture matters too, right? And to have conversations, and that has really been missing, I think. But I think things are changing. I'm excited about what's happening today. I am inspired by the energy, and I think the climate around us is
Mm.
also creating a foundation for more authenticity and for more love,
Mm.
for more love. And I don't think people hesitate to use that word because it sounds cliche. It sounds like an oversimplification, but it's at the end of the day, it's love.
Mm.
It's love. It's love.
Mm.
It's love. I'm really excited. I saw people from multiple generations having making empowering statements about
Mm.
hip hop and about celebrating the breadth and the depth that age brings to the quote game. I hate the word game; it's not a game, but that brings to the table. I love it. I just feel like we're in a space of opportunity.
Yes.
It's kind of like there's hope in our suffering. That
Yes.
phrase, there is hope in our suffering, and now is the hope.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if there's one thing that I mean, there's so many things we know how to do, but if there's one thing that we
Yeah.
know how
Yeah.
to do is move people from a place of discouragement and
Yes.
broken
Yes.
at the bottom, can't get up, can't see the
Yes.
light at the end of the tunnel to
Yes.
hopeful and flourishing.
Yes. Yes.
Um, So, can we talk about your book, Wisdom of the Cipher?
Yes. Yes.
Uh, okay, good. So it clearly, this is why I wanted to dig in a little bit before we talked about it, because clearly it's not just like a catchy hip title, right? It's a
Yeah.
blueprint.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I want to know a little bit about like what you wanted this book to hold, and what makes knowledge sacred. I mean, you can talk about whatever you want to talk about with this book.
Ah, no, this book came about because I was so devoted to ciphers, right? And hip hop music and hip hop culture for so much of my life. And just through the process of doing what I do, organizing ciphers, facilitating ciphers, and then I later went into creating cipher workshops, is that there was so many gems, so much knowledge, so much wisdom. And along my own personal spiritual journey,
Mm,
I was reading everybody from Louise Hay and Iyanla to Wayne Dyer and Deepak Chopra, Queen Afua, you name it. Like all of these books, and all of that began to shape who I became
mm,
as a hip hop artist and hip hop organizer. And so I knew many years ago that that book was coming. I didn't know what it was called,
mm,
but I knew that was coming. And I have like three more ideas related to that that I got from. I remember the day I got sparked with the idea, and I was 99, I think, and I was sitting there watching PBS. Remember when PBS used to have those fundraiser shows, and like Caroline Mason, Medical Intuitive, be on there, Wayne Dyer, and so I would watch these speakers that I loved, and I remember having a multi ethnic group of friends over, and all of them were like, Lord, that puts me to sleep. You watch that? Blah, blah. So it didn't matter. It was a Filipino, a Jewish person, Black American, someone from the Caribbean. They all were saying the same thing. And I was like, I was all into it, geeked, right? I was like, I'm a nerd. So I was like, the hip hop nerd that I am, I said, well, how do we hip hopify this? And so that's when the seed was planted, watching the TV. And so I've been giving birth that seed, fertilizing that seed for a couple decades now. And
mm-hmm,
now all these other things are coming out into play. And I've facilitated sacred ciphers. I've worked with a priestess who did a rites of passage program and brought me in. I've worked with a Reiki healer
mm,
and yoga teacher, sound healer who brought me in. I've been able to do this cipher work in so many different spaces. And then most recently, AM Dark, she put out a call. She's a scholar and
yes.
a genius, and for the open source Afro Hair Library. And so I proposed the Afro Hair Cipher. So what
What?
I've been doing is collecting verses and poems from women mostly. And because I think initially I was thinking too grand. I had the idea and it was too grand. And then she advised me. She says, do what you do.
Hmm.
Keep it into what you do and what's accessible to you. And so, unfortunately, I didn't realize that amongst these genius artists I admire, they were going to think and really want to put their all into this. I said, I just need like 8 bars. Send it to me tomorrow, whatever. Everybody's like, what? So, but I'm going through this completion phase and really excited about what's to come with the Afro Hair Cypher, because there's a whole library that has been created documenting, researching, celebrating Afro hair, different
Mm,
textures, different stories, different visual art.
mm,
So I'm excited to be a part of something that's so groundbreaking and legendary. And then I just got a small grant from Broadway Advocacy Group to
yes.
do freestyles for liberation.
Oh,
And so,
yes.
yeah, the idea is to have these ciphers to make it a mixed bag in terms of folks from different communities coming together
Mm,
to spit about what's going on within them and within our world. And so that'll happen before September 15th. I gotta find a date. I wanted to do a flash mob style, but it's hot outside. And I was like, yo, people gonna be like, Tony, it's too hot. I ain't coming. So I'm thinking through maybe it's a golden hour type of thing on the
yeah.
steps somewhere. I don't know. But we're figuring that out. And then I was invited to curate ciphers, a few ciphers on Governor's Island. Uh, so
Yes.
yeah, so figuring out how to navigate that. Cause girl, I'm an idealist. I'm a hip hop idealist. So I was thinking, I'm gonna bring all the hip hoppers together, all the Cypher crews and factions, and then a good friend of mine. I'm not gonna say her name because she's a public figure, but she was like, "Girl, if you don't come back to reality,"
Oh,
she's like, "Do you know how much labor that will be?
yeah.
Emotional labor, energetic labor."
Mm,
Just get a few volunteers and start hitting up the MCs one by one. And so that's what I'm gonna do.
mm,
That's what I'm gonna do. And then we'll start promoting and choose the date. So I'm gonna go see it next week. So
yes.
you're welcome to join me around.
Oh my
And
God.
so we're gonna go see the island and see what possibilities are there. But I'm really excited because my life is all Cypher everything right now.
Yes.
It
All
really is.
cipher all the time.
All the
Yep.
time. Everything is Cypher related. It's a beautiful thing. And I know here's what's exciting is that when this year began, I don't say names, I don't call things out, but you know what I'm talking about. When the inauguration happened and certain things went down, and then opportunities were crossed off the checklist, that I knew that wasn't going to happen uh, based upon the changes. And I prayed.
Mm,
I prayed for guidance. What is it I'm supposed to do? Where do you want me to go? And I was like, inshallah, I'll land on my feet and end up in the right place and space and time. But I completely surrendered because it was just an immense amount of loss,
yeah.
and it was very saddening. And I think I was depressed for about a week or two, and then I had this climate change gig in Ghana, and I went. That was also not smooth or
Uh,
easy, and I didn't know what would happen. And then being I was there for a week, finished the job I was supposed to do, and I said I need to stay longer, and I ended up extending my trip 2 times. And then I ended up attracting an angel investor. So I
yes.
was able to get some things done and extend my trip, book a recording studio, get a photo shoot. Like I got a lot done from this micro investment. And I at the same time I also went on a juice cleanse because I
Yes.
met a juice bar owner, Ghanaian sister at Duke's Juice, Duks, in Medina and Accra. And I started buying the juices, and I don't know what happened, but that I'm telling you, the power of prayer, the power of intentionality, the power of being intentional. But I'm making a timeline shift right now. I am
Yes.
choosing joy. I am choosing letting go of your circumstances. I've been participating in this Sister the Bravo Lives Delulu sprint, right? And it's really just act as if. It's really,
Yes.
it's Neville Guard. It's the power of assumption and making powerful assumptions that are in your best interest. And that's what I started to do with
Mm.
deliberate intention. And all kind of mini miracles were happening. And so I'm injecting all of the work with that spirit because my idealism is back, right?
Yes.
I don't have the same energy I used to have. I used to do a lot of dumb, heavy work. I've learned to take care of myself just as much as I take care of others. So, but the idealism, the idea that we can strategically use our creativity to make our world a better place, to protect ourselves and our community, to
Mhm.
educate and uplift our children, it is so possible, man.
That's
So
right.
I'm on the track. I'm on the path of that, and the cipher is a big part of that,
Mhm.
right? Being able to
Yes.
gather, being able to vibe, being able to exchange energy and information and ideas, being able to collaborate, and
Yes.
understanding that, problem solving is much more effective when it's done in the context of a brain trust. Trust being the group, the community, the collective. Sit up in your room by yourself if you want. If you want it to be difficult, if you want to be frustrated, yeah, sit up in your room.
If you want to be lonely,
If you want to
shoot.
be lonely, and so there's power to solitude, indeed, but there's just as much power in community, and we get, it's like that phrase, if you want to get there, oh, go along, but if you want to get there faster, huh? Sync up,
Mm.
align. And that's what I've been allowing myself to do. But in order to do this, I've had to do my own personal healing.
Mm.
I've
Talk
had to
about it,
heal. Girl, the hip hop wounds,
girl.
the music industry wounds,
Girl.
the wounds of being an activist, an artivist, right? The disappointment in working with certain people and seeing integrity not
Hmm.
at play. And then learning how to accept my flaws. I learned how to accept other people's flaws, right?
Mm.
To judge less. But then I also became sharper in knowing that there are some flaws that are not acceptable. And you don't have to be apologetic about boundaries. So I am one who lived without boundaries for most of my life. I didn't have good boundaries.
Mm.
And so it led to lots of hurt and disappointment and pain. And then I think another part of this is being able to trust myself, to trust my instincts, to trust what my gut and my inner knowing is telling me about a situation, an opportunity, or a person.
Yep.
Right. And when people say, oh, no, it's not that. Oh, no, it is. And knowing
Yep.
how to have discussions without it having to become confrontational or turn into conflict, but knowing how to matter of fact state, I assert that my inner knowing is accurate.
Hmm.
And either you're going to listen to me now, or you're going to come back to me in a few weeks or a few months or a year and tell me that, oh, right? So I've spent many years doubting, and now I don't have the same doubt I used to have. And that's one of the benefits of being alive longer, right?
Mm.
You grow, and I think rooting myself in joy,
Yes.
regardless of my circumstances, is a whole ass muscle.
Woo!
It's a muscle to build. And I know this because I've been dealing with a certain amount of struggle in a few areas of my life. But because I'm happy, folks don't believe that you have a problem. And I'm like, the thing is, if you look at a lot of the celebrity, popular public figure suicide victims, right? Most of them looked happy
Right.
the day before they exited
Mm.
and left. They looked happy. So I just like to say, I like to remind people of that,
Yeah.
to not gauge what you think is a problem based upon your limited understanding of pain and people, and that we all need to become masters of energy. We all need to study energy. We all need to listen to listen. to listen more and to pay attention. And sometimes we listen not with our ears, but with our gut, right? And that's something the cipher teaches us,
Yes.
how to feel your way through. Like I have an exercise that we do. And what I'm doing is teaching people how to cut other people off. But it's not really cutting people off. You're catching them before they fall. So it's
Mm.
like a different framing, and you're catching it. And so it becomes almost instinctive after you've done it a few times with people and you become so comfortable at it, to the point where if there are other people who understand energy well and you understand it well, you don't have to know the people to vibe.
Mm.
Like we could get off the plane in Berlin and find our people
Mm.
and have a dope cipher
Yes.
because we listen, right? And I just think the cipher has so much to offer us. It circles the same circle the teachers put us in kindergarten,
Mm. Yes.
offers us genius. It offers us love. It offers us support. It offers us listening, belief, courage. Heightens our access to our creativity, helps us build our confidence, helps us be more interconnected with others. All of that is the from the cipher. And it's so much deeper and bigger than a bunch of people rapping.
Yeah.
And I remember someone called me about a cipher battle, and I was like, I don't do that. I don't, that's not what I do. Right? I believe that we can use the cipher as a place to prepare for battle, right?
Mm.
If you're participating in rap battle as a sport, because it's a sport, right? And it can be a beautiful thing
Mm.
when you have the right competitors. But
Mm.
the cipher is a place to focus on yourself.
Mm.
It's you against you, right?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
you are your own worst enemy. This right here and the
Ah.
memories we hold in our belly will sabotage us greater than any other person outside of ourselves, right? So those principles come from Sun Tzu and the Art of War, and a few other books that I was reading at the time when I started to formulate Freestyle Union Cipher Workshop as we started to grow and expand. But that right there is why I don't believe battling holds space inside of a cipher. Those
Mm.
are two different things. There's the cipher and then there's the rap battle.
Mm.
Not to be confused. And when I used to say that years ago, I got accused of trying to feminize hip hop. I was on many panels at many conferences. I think panels used to be a part time job.
Girl.
Remember we were in the era of panels. But that's why I got accused. But guess what hip hop needs now? Feminine energy, the divine
Hello.
feminine. Guess what hip hop needs now? The divine feminine. Which is why the world has responded to Doechii the way that they have.
That's right.
Yeah, it's her talent, it's her beauty,
Mm-hmm.
it's her inner work that she did to prepare herself for these opportunities, right? Which is big, and a lot of artists need to understand that. But it's also that she got the call and she showed up.
Yes.
She understood her assignment,
Yes.
right? And I think that's critically important right now. And it still blows my mind when some of my peers don't want to acknowledge it.
Mm.
You know, they did. I just feel like if everything was right with hip hop right now, I wouldn't be saying this. We would have heard 10 men say it already, right? But hip hop is a microcosm of the real world. So no judgment here, just observations.
Yeah.
We don't judge, we observe.
Girl. Girl.
Yes,
Oh!
yes. So I just cannot wait. I'm excited about what's possible for this year and next year and the following year in terms of that circle being a force for good.
Yeah.
Um, that the cipher can be a place for civic dialogue.
Yes.
And the cipher can be a part of a placemaking strategy for a city or a town or a community, and that the cipher is already being used in a lot of schools because hip hop has been around so long that teachers are hip hop heads or
Yep.
hip hop artists, and they are incorporating it into the teaching and into the learning and into their practices and their pedagogy. It's powerful, man. It's dope. It's dope. It's so dope. So it's a beautiful thing to witness and see. I think the era of writing off uh, artists, poets, or MCs because they're quote into consciousness or culture or politics or whatever the subject is. I think that era is fading out.
Mm-hmm.
And because um people need the medicine.
Yep.
People need the medicine. And even those who denied it before are recognizing they need the medicine. And I'm so happy for the success of Kendrick Lamar. I'm really happy for the success of Doja. I'm really happy. There's a number of artists that I'm just not going to sit here and list a bunch of people. But I listen to those two because they're mainstream superstars. But I am happy for their ascension
Yes.
because it's necessary to balance out the nonsense. It's necessary. And I think we don't talk enough about the spiritual warfare either, right?
Yep.
And when if you were to search, dead rappers, murdered rappers, killed rappers the last 5, 6, 7 years, the numbers are astounding. Unknown rappers, mid-known rappers, known rappers,
Yep.
the number of deaths are astounding and preventable. Didn't have to happen that way. And
Mm-hmm.
so we're battling. I don't want to use that word too much in the live WAR. But we are battling. And look at that. I can't even speak freely. We're battling, and a lot of us are under surveillance and being
Yep.
watched, and having to adjust and choose our battles. And I don't know what's next, like with regard to that, but I do know that we have access to tools to protect our sanity and protect our peace. And we have to utilize them. We have to utilize them. I've just been very fortunate over the past month or so. I've been in community, a lot of different in and out of different communities, and this technically I haven't been in ciphers, but there have been circles of people where I feel safe,
Mm-hmm.
where I am laughing, where I am smiling, where I'm crying, where I'm processing emotions, and it's a good thing to be in the space because that gives us access to not only greater mental health and spiritual health but physical health as well,
Mm-hmm.
right? And there are a lot of folks who don't realize that, okay, change your diet all you want, get the supplements, exercise, but if you're not dealing with your energy,
Mm-hmm.
you're not dealing with your stress, you're not going to
Girl.
heal. You're not going to heal in ways that are profound and long term.
Mm-hmm.
We have to take it more seriously. And I know in my community, we've normalized pain.
Mm-hmm.
We've normalized stress. We've normalized things as if it has to be this way, as if you're not allowed or permitted to be happy every day in
Mm-hmm.
joy filled. Like I can't celebrate 3 times a week. Why can't I celebrate? If I got my work done, why can't I celebrate?
Mm-hmm.
Why can't I smile? Why can't I laugh loud? Why can't I dance in the street or in the aisle at Trader Joe's? Why? And I'm no longer following those rules.
Yeah.
And we gonna have a cipher. We might have a cipher in the airport. If I bump
Listen.
into you.
Listen.
Yeah, so I think it's really important where we're at right now. So it's very powerful. We just finished, well, we didn't finish it. But it's I got the fine cut from Salome, my producer, and Herman Jean Noel, cinematographer, editor for the A Woman's Place is in the Cipher.
I was just about to ask you about the final edits.
Yeah, I finally got it. And so we're waiting on the final edit. We got the fine cut, there's feedback, and then it's done. It's almost done. Finalizing the
Okay.
credits and all that. But I'm so excited about the impact it can make. And I'm excited to tell stories that I've lived. And the idea is that it's not just my story, but it's a series that would tell the stories of other women MCs, the backstory, stories that are never told,
Mm,
ever,
mm.
ever, unless you're at the Latifah level or Salt and Pepper. No one tells these women, and there's so many women, hip hop heads, MCs, dancers, DJs. I'll focus on MCs, but the stories have never been told. It's like they live, they give, and then they disappear. They're disappeared. And it's not fair, it's not just. And I want to be a part of the the force, the energy to make sure these women are seen and
Yes.
yeah, so just honoring my purpose. And honestly, my intention was not to focus on women, but I got a grant from the Big We Foundation,
Yep.
and they have the She Stories grant. And so I didn't get chosen for the fellowship, but the big one, they wrote me and said, "We love your proposal so much. We want to support your work in a smaller way."
Yes.
And so I got a grant, a much smaller grant, but it was enough to get this thing done. And so we're gonna be raising another 6 to 7 grand to finish it off with the bells and whistles, and
I feel like
then
you reading this script right now. Girl.
we're gonna be shopping it. And I don't know if I can talk about who offered to shop it yet, but
Okay.
we're gonna be shopping it and to get the series picked up.
Yep.
So targeting streaming networks and I am over the moon.
Yes.
Yes, 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 yes.
Hey. What do you want people to do to help with this? And like, where should they go to support or get involved with this project in particular? I'm going to circle back at the very end and ask again, but just with A Woman's Place is in the cipher, like, if people feel called and really energized around it.
Well, I have a GoFundMe up that I
Dope.
haven't checked since I last raised money for the project. But that's we're gonna be using a GoFundMe, and we might use another platform for people to support. Um and I'm on Instagram Live, at Toni Blackman at gmail.com. They can reach out to me as well. September 7th, I'll be doing a birthday. I'm a September 4th Virgo. Let me make it
Ooh,
clear. September
okay.
4th is T Day and B Day. And
Yes.
but I also have some other Virgo sister friends as well who were born on that day, and brother friend. Um
Mm.
but September 7th is a Sunday, and that's the date that I've chosen that will be a birthday party screening. So
Ooh.
just looking at venues now. Talked to a couple folks today, and so hopefully we can get a nice venue in Brooklyn and show the piece and talk about it and celebrate life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Ooh, wee.
Yeah, so but that's the goal. That's the goal.
Tony, I
Yeah.
have like 3 more pages for you. We
Yes.
gonna have to do a part two. Okay. What's your time like? Do you have exactly 4 minutes left? Can I ask you like what's your time? Because I want to
No.
really
Yeah, yeah,
just
I'm here. I'm here. Yeah, I'm
okay,
good.
okay. Um, so let's shift to sound. You talked about it a little bit, but you've
Oh yeah.
created a hip hop meditation series and I believe are now releasing Afro hip hop soul. What inspired this direction? We touched on it, but just um yeah, we played a little bit of I love and approve of myself in the beginning.
Yes.
If
Yes.
y'all
Yes.
missed it, okay.
Yes.
But talk to us about it.
Well, you know the meditation stems from that whole journey with healing, right? And so wanting to create stuff I want to listen to. If it doesn't exist, why not create it? Doesn't exist, why not create it myself? So that's where that came from. And then I started recording the hip hop meditation stuff with deliberate intention in 2013. At the time, I was aligned with the creative partner. He was an engineer, and he produced a little, and it gave me a chance to grow and kind of incubate for a year or so. And then I've watched people start to flourish because they're not overthinkers and perfectionists like me. And I was like, girl, the sabotage that has occurred. But I feel very fortunate to be in this space, to be vibrant, to have the energy I do, to be able to press reset and come back to it. And it's knowing that it's not too late.
Yep.
There's a meditation album I recorded, mixed, mastered 2 years ago. It's called the Self Love Meditation Project. I collaborated with Noel Grass, and he's been nominated for Best Jazz Pianist in Kenya. And he's based in Nairobi. He's a composer, a producer, and an engineer. And I met him when I was there in 2019. So we're still working together. My workforce and my circle is truly diasporic and global. And
Yes.
so we work very well together from a distance. I haven't seen him since 2019. But he helped me put that project together. And I sent him the tracks to mix and master, and he sent them back. He said, "I hope you don't mind. I felt like these 4 tracks needed some music, so I composed them just for you." Right? You talking about blessed? The journey, I've been so blessed. So I'm looking forward to releasing that, and then the Afro hip hop. So that's just my journey. I've been going back and forth to the continent since '98. I've spent a lot of time in South Africa and in Senegal.
Mm.
Well, I've been to 16 countries in total, and I've been collaborating with African artists here in New York since I moved here over
Yes.
20 years ago. City Lore Foundation would set up gigs just for me. So we
Yes.
work with the Jolly from Sierra Leone and the master core player from the Gambia and the balafon player. And so I've been entrenched in
Yes.
African music in some very powerful ways. Did a lot of performance with Meta from Meta and the Cornerstones, the reggae
Mhm.
artist, and also with artists from Burkina Faso. And forgive me if I'm forgetting y'all name, because people are like, you didn't mention me. Paul. God, I didn't
It's
mean
a lot.
to.
You can't mention everyone.
It's a
We'll be
lot.
here all
No, girl,
day.
they be hitting me up. But yeah, I've done a lot of beautiful collaborative work. So I'm now mixing, mastering, getting finishing touches, waiting forever for little interludes from people. And I forget, I feel so bad because I've done this to people where I say yes to the interlude. And all I got to do is one little thing, but 2 weeks go by, you know? So it's challenging me to be better when people ask me for a blurb for
Mm.
their book or whatever. But I'm waiting. So that, but we're gonna just start releasing the singles. The producer who I've worked with is in New Orleans.
Yes.
Q to Seventh from Seventh Ward, and then there's another producer, Finesse. He's in Toronto, in Canada.
Yes.
So yeah, it's coming together. And I did some stuff with the in a Ghanaian studio in Accra with Ato, and a gifted hand studio in Tema, which is a
Girl.
suburb of Accra. So it feels good because this is the vision I had for my life. This is the vision. I tried to get the Cypher set up in Ghana. I wasn't able to. I didn't have enough of the right connections to tap into the hip hop community. But I have a vision. I
And
have a vision.
it's coming to life. It's
Yes,
continuing to unfold so
yes, yes, yes,
beautifully.
yes, yes. So it's beautiful. So I'm grateful, and really working through what needs to be done to manifest the next phase. I recorded, thanks to my investor, I was able to record 2 webisodes for my new podcast. It's called Twala, and it's Travels of a Lyrical Ambassador, in complete alignment with my brand, which I'm really working on that focus thing. I'm a high creative. I'm not the most in the past. I have not been the most focused in terms of being able to narrow down my niche. But I'm clear. I'm clear now. And
Yes.
so I just need to get the episodes properly edited, and then I'm meeting with a friend who is helping me shop that as well. So just wanting to operate on higher levels so that I'm not like a tree falling in the forest and no one ever gets to hear this great work. But when I
Yes.
tell you, when I talk about alignment,
Yes.
these fantastic Ghanaian artists. And so, like, most people that know me know that Manifest is one of my favorite artists in hip
Mm,
hop, period, hands down. So, Manifest, Manifest is the name. If you haven't heard him, look him up. Look up his new album, New Road and Guava Trees. Just look up new album, Manifest, Ghana, hip hop. But he is just a phenomenal rap lyricist, a performer. His aesthetic, his style, his level and depth of knowledge of music and culture and history is amazing. And he's badass. So
mm,
I interviewed him. And then I also was able to interview Rocky Daouni, 4-time Grammy nominated Afro Roots reggae legend from Ghana, who was a UN peacekeeper and using music, and he's got an image award, or I think he's got an image award as well. And then there's this sister Enam, Enam Music.
mm,
She is one of the most powerful creatives I've ever sat close to in my life,
mm,
energetically rooted in what she was called here to do as a singer. She understands her mission. She
mm,
understands it from being a little girl. The way she speaks of her grandmothers and her ancestors, and her heart is so genuine and so pure.
mm.
Just a pure artist, pure creative. And the music, my gosh. So I can't wait to introduce more people in the
Yes.
States to these sounds, to these artists, the world. And I just want to do it right this time,
Yeah.
not being a perfectionist, like really wanting to do it right. So we're moving through this next phase. And my big brother, Fritz Francois, who is an audio engineer, sound designer, Haitian American Brooklyn boy, he has been almost like a mentor advisor. Like when you're aligned, the
Mm.
people show up. The people
It's
show up.
so true. Yes. Yep.
And you can't get, this is why you can't get stuck on money and resources. You can't get stuck on needing the right tools and things. Sometimes you don't need a resume to get the job.
Yep.
Yeah, you need to have one, but sometimes it doesn't matter, right? And so it's really important for folks to keep that in mind, whether you're a creative or not. If you're
Mm-hmm.
an entrepreneur, if you're a healer, if you're on a mission, if you're being called to do something, to not get stuck in the box of how it's supposed to be done, but to
Yes.
focus on it being done.
Mm.
Period. That's it. That's it. Things happen, things manifest. What you need shows up for you,
Ashe.
right? Yeah. Yeah. So
Ooh.
that's what I'm rooted in right now. I have no choice.
Ooh wee. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, Toni. Can I ask you what are some of the common threads that you're hearing that you were hearing in those conversations that you were having in Accra with these artists?
Well, I think there's a full acknowledgement of the ancestors and those the reasons we're here.
Yeah.
And it's very present as if it's not even the past. It's
Mm.
not like historical references. It's now. I'm acknowledging my
Mm.
ancestors, what my grandmothers gave me, what my grandpa said to me.
That's
I'm
right.
acknowledging it now. And so that I think is really, really important. And I think it's something that we had up until a point
Yep.
and we have to return to, right? Really acknowledging Big Mama, right?
Yep.
And what granddaddy told you when you were 12 and your aunt, your great uncles and that sort of thing. So that for me was very special. And then
Mhm.
listening to the creative process, listening to artists who tune in to frequencies to be able to write their songs and talking with artists for whom creativity flows.
Yes.
It just flows. It just flows. And you can tell by the way they speak about the art, where they speak about their creativity. And then also really noting like these diaspora wars, some of it authentic and real, and some of it is what's the word? It's like constructed. It's like
Mm-hmm.
pieces were put into play to make sure that these conflicts occur.
Yep.
But the artists I meet with all speak like Pan-Africanists.
Yes.
Period. And
Yes.
so that being a truth made me feel accepted, embraced, loved, supported in ways that are very, very powerful and affirming as a descendant of the, enslaved Africans.
Mm.
The descendant that is just powerful. And then understanding my role. I think and Inam said this, right? When we interviewed my friend K Rich. K Rich, who is actually from Brooklyn, been in Ghana a decade, manages like 4 or 5 different venues, co-founded a school. Like the brother's really living his full life and purpose. And he allowed me to use his venues and choose a venue to record, shoot my interview in.
Yes.
And so we're there interviewing and having this conversation, and the power went out. But the power went out because he has new staff and everybody's not fully trained and they didn't know to prepare for this. And then it went out again after we started again. And so Inam and I, we talked. Like we had time to talk in between the
Yes.
no power moments. And she was really committed to finishing the interview. And she says, Tony, you have to be present to why you're here. And you being here has something to do with your creativity and your art. And yet it's still bigger than you.
Mm.
And why you've been called to Africa so many times for so many years. And how do you fulfill the mission? We had the best conversations off camera. And
Mm-mm-mm.
she's like, it's no coincidence.
That's right. That's right.
It's no coincidence. And she's like, so if you need permission, to be an artist, if you need permission to make music, if you need permission to create, I grant it to you. Okay, sis? Do your thing.
Right.
Do your thing.
Right.
So here's this young sister telling me, schooling me. I
Mm.
mean, and I left there just feeling so high and so embraced and so taken care of that I'm determined to make sure that I can present this podcast in the best light possible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I absolutely can't wait. And I think I not I think I know that it's going to be something different than what we've ever had a chance to
Yeah.
witness.
Well, here's the thing. I think that the intercultural collaborations, it's time. So I do know some people who are doing business ventures, entrepreneurial ventures. They're starting to intermingle and work together. But it's time for us to go deeper
Yep.
and to, Africa was divided up by colonizers. And so, granted, there are different languages, different cultural practices, and all of those things. But at the root of some of the conflict and the distancing and the illusion of, this country's better than that country, right? That's just the continuation, the continuum of the colonization and the
Yes.
enslavement. And so are we free or are we not? Do we really want to be free? Or do we want to remain where we've been? And I think our generation and the generations after us, this is our role. This is our function right now,
Hmm.
is to choose free.
Yep.
That's it.
And we're
And
so blessed to get to choose.
yes, 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 yes. Yeah, and to not underestimate the power of creativity in the choice making, and to not devalue the power of artists.
Hmm.
To stand firm on that, and to know that you don't have to be Jay-Z to be successful.
Yes. For the people in the back,
You
please.
don't. You don't. Know what success looks like for you in honoring your calling and what it is you're put here to do. And then also you don't have to do just one thing. You need to work towards mastery on the things you do, which means you might have to focus one at a time. But we are dynamic beings. We are multi-layered creatives. We come with many gifts. We are blessed.
Hmm.
So write the damn book and record the album
Yes.
and finish your voiceover demo in the meanwhile. You know what I mean? Whatever it is you have to do, and maybe you're learning to sew just for yourself.
Yes,
But
Tony.
in sewing, you got a better lyric, a better verse, right?
Hmm.
It's really important. And we need to honor that. Some of us are meant to study dance, not to become dancers,
Hmm.
but because dance liberates our souls.
That's right.
Dance relaxes us. Dance helps us sleep.
Ooh. Yes.
Yes. So I think that all of that coming together, keeping the circle in mind, keeping the cipher in mind, and really centering ourselves so that we can build this global cipher and be connected is really important during this day and age,
Yes.
during these times. Yes.
Mm-mm-mm.
Yes, yes.
Can I ask you one more question before we go?
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh, I'm like, okay. Yeah, we might have to do a part two at some
Mhm.
point. But so I've been having this conversation a lot lately around what I call the price of our genius.
Yes.
Um, and it's about the cost of like being a brilliant black woman in this culture and also
Yes, yes, yes.
navigating the industry. The economic, emotional, and cultural labor that we carry while creating legacy. Um, and I recently opened pre-orders for this album capsule as an act of economic resistance. And some people are like, this. It's crazy. How much money do you want us to pay for this? But what I feel like, one thing that makes me feel like I'm not going to change my mind about this album capsule for 2.5K is that I want to honor Black women's labor and the value in
Yeah, yeah.
our value in hip hop and in the music industry. And
Hmm.
I feel like to literally put a price on the sacred work we do, you can't actually put a price on it.
Right,
There's, you know,
right,
there's no
right.
cap, but just to get people thinking about it. But what are your thoughts on this? What would it look like to have our labor, our archives, our leadership fully honored and funded?
Right, right, right. Ooh, the price of genius. Yes. You know what? I don't know if I can answer that in the moment on the spot. And because it's something I have thought about, but not given myself permission to dream about,
Mm,
right? I think that's a conversation I'm stepping into, like literally this week, like literally the rest of this year,
yes.
moving into 2026. Because too often the labor has been free. And
Yeah.
I was talking with my girlfriend here just about the energetic and emotional labor that we are often asked to do for projects
Yep.
and for other people's visions without acknowledgement in any form, yet alone compensation. When I think about how tired I am, it's because I have consistently given, given, and given, and given, while others were taking and taking and taking. And so there are things that I would want to do right now that I don't have the energy. I don't have the bandwidth, and I have to say no. Um, but I think it would look like peace. It would look like better health. It
Yep.
would look like rested women who can think more clearly and have more love to give. That's what it would look like, right?
Yep.
And it's really necessary moving forward that we identify ways to do this. And I remember someone wanting my time. I get calls a lot now and DMs about Africa travel. And there are people who I get on Zoom with or I take calls with.
Mm.
And I started saying, if it's longer than 15 minutes, you have to pay for a consult.
That's right.
And people aren't used to me saying stuff like that. But then I realized that I always offer more.
Mm.
I always give more value,
Mm-hmm.
which means actually I should be making even more, right? And so I am going through this process of recovery myself,
Yeah.
of the women in my life, the elders and family. Oh, Toni, be nice. Be nice. Oh, Toni, be a good girl.
Mm.
Just be nice. Be nice. And me seeing where nice got them
Come on, Tony.
and me not wanting to be that. I don't do nice anymore. I had the biggest falling out with this guy who I was talking to, and he's like, I'm a nice guy. And I said, I don't like nice guys. And he became unnice rather quickly because I said that.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Mm-hmm.
don't like nice. Be
Yeah.
kind, right? Be generous, be thoughtful, be considerate. Don't be nice. Mm-mm. I need you to be
Mm.
firm. I need you to be clear. I need you to tell me what I need to hear, not just what I want to hear. I need you to be honest and authentic with me to minimize my hurt moving forward in the future. I don't want you to be nice. And I don't want to be nice anymore. And I also don't want to be strong. I want to be human and allowed to make mistakes. And I want to be able to cry. And I want to be able to take a nap
Yes.
or take a vacation or take 3 days off. I want to be able to eat without doing all the cooking, you know?
Yes.
I want help cleaning. That's what I want. Yeah, and rub my feet while you're at it. But
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
You know, it's really, really important. And I think too often women are taken for granted. Just taken for granted. Every culture.
Yep.
Yeah. But Black women being laborers for centuries. And I think this is where it stops. This is where it stops.
Hmm.
New beginnings. Here's the new beginnings.
That's right.
Right?
Can I ask you what you want the world to like finally understand about Black women's role in building and sustaining hip hop? Because those outside of the culture don't necessarily have access to the shared memory and like what you were saying, that there's so many unnamed women
Yeah.
in hip hop that have contributed so much who people just don't even know about, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Well, I think, I mean, if you go back to when Kool Herc did that first Park Jam, it was his sister
yep.
who coordinated and set it up. It was her idea, right?
Cindy.
So the foundations, women, um, the owner of Sugar Hill Records, woman, right? And a lot of times it was women who made sure that it was promoted. It was women who helped secure the venue. It was women who cleaned the venue and set it up. It was women. It was women who were part of the ideation phase of a lot of hip hop music and culture and hip hop education pioneers. There were women who did that. And as a pioneer, I'm saying I'm a woman, right?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
I'm also a hip hop theater pioneer. And there
Mm.
were other women. I wasn't the only woman. There were other women. Um, but women have played a critical role in the evolution of hip hop music and culture. I believe that it's alive because of women, because there was a time where um, our other halves were competing against one another. So much so that there wasn't enough collaboration to sustain the culture. But because of women, it stayed alive, right? And so right now, the most radical initiatives that are happening in hip hop education and in the hip hop arts movement, it's women. It's all women.
Mhm.
You know, Dr. Adia Winfrey, who's mother of hip hop psychology, um, is coordinating some really amazing work, uh, helping to politicize Southern rappers, Southern MCs. And it's a woman, right? And there's so much happening with what Martha's doing with Hip Hop Education Center. Martha Diaz, it's a woman. So I'm pleased. I'm happy to be a woman. If we look at Polaris, the MC, Polaris is a Rubik's Cube master who was a math science classroom teacher and one of the dopest MCs I know on planet Earth. And she is using Rubik's Cube and rap to help identify learning styles in children
Mm.
and teaching teachers how to do this. Like there is groundbreaking work being done by women, right? So many women music producers not getting opportunities. But I love the younger generations on the come up. And then there are some women who picked up the Ableton and what's the other Logic during the
Mhm.
pandemic. So I see there are two women, Gen X women, who are producing, who started at 48. You know,
Yes.
so it's really really exciting. What's happening right now? There's women in the music business who never get seen or talked about, who are the reason a lot of things happen. You look at Drew Dixon and so much around remixes and stuff. And yeah, women are the foundation, a huge part of the foundation. And they talk about it being male dominated, and it has been as a force, but because the world has been. it's a microcosm of the world, which is why we can't scapegoat hip hop for the
That's right.
problems of the world. It's
That's right.
just a reflection of the world. We look at the recent trial. That was not about hip hop.
That's right.
That's all I'll say.
Yes. Toni Blackman, thank you for showing us
Yeah,
that the cipher is sacred.
it's so sacred.
Thank you.
Yes, yes.
Oh my gosh. You show us that voice is power and that women and Black women's contributions are not just foundational, but they're revolutionary. And you
Mhm.
continue to walk in this, like, this calling of yours.
Yes,
Um, this has been a journey that you have, like a calling that you've answered and
yes,
just showed
yes,
up to, whether when
yes.
people see you shining and when people don't see what you're doing, you're walking this walk.
Oh, yes.
Um, and to everyone watching, support, share, study Toni Blackman, because this
Mhm.
is this is what legacy looks like in real time.
Yes.
Um, and are there any last pieces? If there was one thing when people come in contact with your work, if there was one thing that you would want them to do that would move the needle for your work. Oh, wait, circle back. So, this piece around just a moment ago when we were talking about the price of genius and the exhaustion,
Yeah,
right? Of like, I actually have to say no because I have a backlog of having to overgive and being undercompensated, but also for self-preservation. I also want to just say to the people, like, it's not um sometimes people are like, oh, well, I want to support women, like as if but I'm like, you're actually giving to yourself, because by supporting you in a more abundant way,
yeah, yeah,
they're going to be able to get more of this brilliance,
yeah, yeah,
of this revolutionary work in the world. So
yeah.
I just want people to reframe, like, it's not about being entitled to people investing, but it's about understanding the interconnectedness,
Right,
that these are the women that make your world go round.
right,
Your
right.
world, you don't want your world to stop turning. So you're actually investing in yourself,
Yeah.
when you invest in leaders and revolutionary artists like yourself. So what's the needle moving action that, if someone really wants to invest in you and invest in themselves, um, that they can take?
I think, well, I think I'm looking for seeking out agents who can help shop things for the video projects, the film projects, but also books and writing, and then raising funds to finish this film, donating, and then not quite at the stage we're seeking investors, but working on the business plan for investors
Yeah.
and backing and support. I think those are the main things. The product is good and clear. The offerings are strong. The tree, the branches are very clear now, where I couldn't say that in January of this year.
Yeah.
And now I can say that the branches are crystal clear. I know what they are. And then I also am focused on the web of New York, Senegal, Ghana, like connecting and planting myself in different places. So, and being able to serve and do work in those different places and connect with artists to do work. And I'm doing all of this while I'm doing my public speaking coaching, which has helped me sustain myself during this creative period. And so building that as well. So folks need public speaking coaching. You can refer folks to me for media training, interview prep, panels, keynotes, lectures, and also for on camera work and video. So
Yes.
yes.
Yep, and don't ask to pick her brain. You better set up a consultation at Toni Blackman across all platforms, Toni Blackman
Yes.
at gmail.com.
Yes.
Toni, thank you so much for spending time with me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you for having me, and thank you for the conversation. Thank you.
of course. It's
Thank you for the
my honor.
spotlight.
Yes, queen. What? Girl,
Yes,
what? It's only
yes,
right.
yes.
Um, okay, my love. Well, we will see you soon.
Yes, 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 yes. Be well.
You too.
All right.
You
Peace. Bye bye.